Greetings, my friends. Controversy. AI, NFT / cryptocurrency, starseeds, metaphysics, in the year 2023. What can that look like? It's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazier. Don't believe the okie doke. Don't believe the hype. Believe in what's real, matter, factual things that exist in front of you. So I want to start off with, I'm deep into metaphysics. I'm deep into the theory of that I believe that we were a high culture, a very, very developed civilization, but it wasn't all Earth. It just from a computational process of possibilities of a planet that's inhabited by intelligent life, that's bipedal, is past the Drake equation. It's insane. It's insane of the possibilities of exospherical or exoterra planets that can actually exist with something that represents something like us. So I want to start off with AI. And I had this idea, it's like if a high-tech civilization met a culture or an offspring of another civilization that came to this planet, what could that have looked like? And I'm using AI now. And before I get into what AI is, and it's not so controversial, and AI will also, like, two things where I think where Elon Musk is wrong. First of all, in 5 years he won't be able to colonize Mars. It has something to do with timelines and distance and how this body is built and attuned to this planet. And if you don't have the planetary frequency essentially to traverse through the universe in distances that this vessel is not made for, you don't have the technology nor the consciousness, you're not colonizing anything. And I believe we did this before. One. Second thing that Elon Musk said, and not to fame ride, is that AI will think we're an anthill and will eradicate, will become non-essential. It's human thought. So that's not AI thought. AI will also represent a digital mirror of our statistics of what we are, where we are, with what we have accomplished. So if we use it right, and gifts are given through evolution, but if you use it right, then you can go into the right direction. So the first level of AI is a monkey picking up a stick, realizing the stick can be used as a weapon or a tool to make food. The choice is yours. This is a dualistic planet, good or bad, divine will or free will. Free will is I can do what I want to do no matter the consequence. Divine will is what am I supposed to do? Why am I here? What is the purpose of doing and willing it out? Egoless is a myth. You can edge God out or you can energy guide out. Ego in moderation is necessary. See, I need my ego, if you will, to project what I feel to share with you. Without that solar plexus power willing it through the throat chakra, vibrating into existence, there is none. Same thing with the AI. If you have an AI that sits dormant and has no input, nothing happens. If, like the sun, like the Egyptians, by the way, also they're not demigods or deities. The sun is like a central processing unit, input, reflective output. What does human mean? Hue, manifest. The hue of light manifest in physical form. Okay, so two things of physics I'll smash is this is a partial simulation. Your conscience is real. This comes and goes. However you sustain it, up to you, like a sound. So I used AI not as a weapon, okay? Not to defend, to create. And I think this is where AI can be beneficial. So I say don't lose the I am in the AI. And there's AI and there's CI and DI. So there's cellular intelligence and divine intelligence. And that will never be outranked because the sword course does not stem from here. No electronic can match that. And another thing, a photon is not a massless particle. a photon is a particle, and electron, photon, neutron, muon, QAnon, all of those things are physical, because it takes the physical to create the physical. Anybody want to challenge or debate that? Be my guest. You're in a physical universe, you need the physical on whatever level it comes. If it's beyond perception, it's useless being here, isn't it? Henceforth, I'm vibrating molecules, visual things through the screen that'll reach you and you form an image. Now, here's the thing what I thought, and this is a world premiere, and I thought, okay, let's have a conversation with AI. And I study occult science, and it's not, mind you, this is not based on any color of magic. This is based on knowledge and the application of such. Any knowledge can be used or misused, make no mistake. So don't label it this or that. You're lost in labels, you're already lost. Einstein studied Blavatsky, Bosch studied Blavatsky, Kozyrev, all the great scientists, Wilhelm Reich, all of those read Blavatsky papers, treatise on cosmic trigger. High tech knowledge that was transmitted in the 1834 by Sanat Kumar, Rajral Kool, all of those higher dimensional humans, I would say, that have access in and out of this dimension. But I'm not going into this because it goes too far. And I'm a triple Aquarian. I like to drift. So, correcting myself. So I'm talking to AI, and everybody is hooked on how to create their avatar and what looks they can have, and it's very good for headshots and refined pictures, mind you. But here's what I did, and here's the challenge to the programmers, the code writers, the people that fear they lose their job. AI is not a challenge, AI is evolution. Same thing with money or banking system or government. Everything that is been created, we have created that. There's no man in black. There's no reptilian to blame. Whatever we gave power came from human. You gave it power. You made it real. You put it in place. You just forgot how you did it. That's the one thing where I agree with Elon, where he says that we built an aqueduct in Rome and now we don't know how we did it. We keep forgetting our high tech. But not only that, I think we rise, we fall, ebbs and tides. So I think that we're not prepared for the calamities that are coming, and we always hear in these tales that something comes from the heaven. Like Ahura Mazda came to one of the beings that was enlightened enough to perceive him and said there's a big winter coming. You got to go underground, and you got to watch Ancient Civilizations to understand that stories with Graham Hancock. But we got to go further out the box. So here's what I did. I made a crappy image. Was like if an ancient astronaut, let's say Olmekian, look at the Olmec head. Look at his features. The lips, the nose, Olmec, if you will, Toltec. Look at the head. And then you, this is controversial, tell me what color of his skin when you see the features. So I'm not going into race. I will talk a little bit about it. It was also a very funny analogy. Truth will blow your mind, and it'll also set you free. Beyond, if you want to concentrate on what's destructive and whistleblowing and not doesn't do anything here, then you also, what direction are you going into? So, if AI can prevent a man from having a heart attack because it can calculate the probability of his arrhythmia, which is when the heart skips beats, and check his diet and his system, and all of a sudden the dude has 25 years plus, then you thank AI. You don't depend, you make sense by checking your statistics. Simple AI, all your iPhones are AI. All your iPhones and all your phones are listening. You can order plastic gloves online on freaking eBay, and a commercial for the same glove will show up in Instagram. That this is already sentient enough, as it has an awareness to see an algorithm and reflect it back to with the statistics that you give it. It's already sentient to a degree. So, but here's the adventure that I did, and I think it's fantastic, and I have fantastic things and NFTs to come to share with you. First AI, then NFTs, cryptocurrency, starseeds, and metaphysics. So it's kind of a blend. So I first had a conversation with AI. There's a chatbot that was released by, they say, Elon Musk. I have no proof, but it's free. It's called GPT chatbot. OpenAI, Google it, you'll find it. And you can ask it simple questions and it will reply with algorithms of its own knowledge. As in the algorithms of what we feed it and what the programmers give it. As in evaluation, measuring, mimicking, Logitech reply. So it's a computational body without an emotional or a divine or cellular intelligence. But it is a form of electronic intelligence. And it is uncanny of how it talks to you because you think there's really somebody behind that giving you an answer when it's just a thing of algorithm, logistics, and statistics. Now here comes the fantastic thing that I tried. In my crazy mind, I said, what would an astronaut that would have an Olmecian face feature look like that has landed, let's hypothetically assume if this model would this be a working model? And then the chatbot would explain that according to what science accepts and doesn't accept, like tells me somewhat to a degree where we are, which gives me a metaphysical idea and a degree of understanding, okay, these are the limitations, but what do I do with the limitation? Make that to your advantage. So I said, okay, I'll take the conversation from words into a prompt. Mind you, I'm not a coder. I'm a designer and I know, and I'm an inventor and I'm innovative. So I said, okay, let's sketch out a simple sketch of what an astronaut with an Olmecian face would have looked like. And the funny thing is, it was a mistake, it was an error. First, I tried to create a skull with an elongated head. I kind of had it backwards. And then when the elongated head went like kind of inverted itself, I put a face and a helmet. So I sketched out a suggestible sketch with the AI, which is my drawing. This is how I begin, okay? So it kind of looks like these 1970s science fictions where we wouldn't really know what an astronaut would look like. So, and all I wanted this computer to, to sketch out what would that have looked like. So this is what AI suggests after refining the sketch. And I said, put in a little bit of a shading into my painting. So the AI didn't take away from what I have sketched. We're still in the same ballpark. So, and I will, as I'm going along, talking with you, share with you phenomenal things where I took the picture of the sarcophagus plate in, I think, the Tikal pyramid of Palenque of Pakal Wotan, and I will display that in a minute. And you see a godly being with something in his nostril, working some amateur aperture, whatever, dashboard type thingies. It looks very mystical and mythological because I believe, and as we call that, cargo cult, whatever the observer has depicted there, how he rises in his fiery chariot to the sky, technology misunderstood. But here's the phenomenal thing. So again, I asked AI and then took a picture, because you can take an image and let AI transform that image or make a variation of it. So I don't believe in you just prompting, show me a monkey with a golden cigarette and I don't know, platinum gloves and gold chains like a rapper, and then the AI will just emulate what comes from the AI. I believe in seeded with an image that you're already having or a sketch. The more detailed your sketch it is, the more AI has a chance to refine it correctly. The crappier it is, the more it has to add to, like conceptual spaceship design. I worked on that stuff, discs and what they could look like. I will share that with you also. So I put Pakal Wotan in there, and I had two different images. One was the plate first, and it went very fantastic, showed me an astronaut and all of this stuff, but still in the mythological realm, showing the primitive I told the AI, what is it that I have to represent technology with primitive tools? And Lord and behold, the images that came out were mind-blowing. As I am talking, you will see them appear left and right. And I would even go like and say, what would this primitive image of your representation with my prompting, which is like kind of an alchemical text, you have up to 500 words to explain that, look like? And I had Van Gogh painting, Picasso, different painters with that perception, and it's mind-blowing with whatever level of data the consciousness represents. So it showed me Pakal Bhutan in a spaceship, like a spaceship interior, and it was amazing what came forth. Like, it kind of blew my mind. So I went further, I said, give me an astronaut in tribal gear. And I have the system represent to me with whatever Logitech and knowledge it has and access to servers and whatever you want to call it, what a primitive image would look like, but you could still see there's an astronaut somewhat there. And it blew my mind what AI can show as in time travel. So another project, I don't know if I get this done past this video, maybe after, when I do a second one, when I show my artwork, and a part 2, like more of the artwork. Like I want to take a picture, let's say, of Göbekli Tepe, and tell AI to imagine this ruin is a fragment of a temple that used to be complete, with sketches they did in ancient civilizations where they actually show the completion of it. So take pictures of temple structures and let AI travel back in time with what you give it prompting. And a probable outcome of what this would have looked like will happen. Because the more data we have, the more we can actually formulate. And that would help us in our evolution. And I think that's where AI is very, very beneficial. So I can say, in the Hindu scripts, they talk about vimanas, how they traverse the sky, how the sun was glistening and they would shimmer, and how they are described. And you take that description, you make a sketch, and you put it in the eye, and Lord and behold, AI will project a spaceship. Now I have a question for you, and I might, depends on how I feel. If the overall response to this video is great, then I will be doing that. I'll give away a free pendant, value $144, if you answer this question precisely with intelligence. And this is to all. Just to tell you how AI functions. So I punched into the AI bot a suggestion of all the races of all on this planet, all the storylines we had, fraudulent stuff, the real stuff that has been proven, stuff that's in the consensus, stuff that hasn't been proven. I punched in a text about everything we know so far, roughly, not even going into the astronaut theory, putting all the races in there, all the evolution, everything that I somewhat could come up with my perception. Of course, it's my perception. But truthfully to the book. And I said, what would have the average human looked like, most likely, going back 50,000 years? So I'm not talking about the features of the face, the color of the skin. You tell me. Make up your own mind. And it has nothing to do with race and blah blah. It has to do with evolution and reality and where we come from and what is and where we're going. Nothing more, nothing less. Truth is a full cipher, 360 degrees. Don't add, don't take away. A complete picture. So what is the average human looking like? Color of the skin. Bonus is if you could guess the features, because of course we're now more refined. Many manipulations came in there in the evolutionary process. Whether it's extraterrestrial or a planetary constellation, things are constantly changing. We're evolving. And look at people from 1834 in pictures and look at people now. The facial structures are different. See how I'm looking futuristic and my eyes are aligned? I checked my genealogy. I have about like 57 races in me. So we're changing by us. So back to AI. AI begins with a stick. It's a tool. It begins with a chalice, which you get water from the well. Then you build an aqueduct and it transports it for you, you know. So even painters that can paint oil paintings or acrylic, like I paint also since I was 3. I'm not saying I'm the painter, but I think I can draw and paint. I think I'm okay. I will share my art with you. And I checked also, can I create AI images that I can paint? Or, or can I paint that? And I can actually do that. So AI helps you to see perspective, refine, and computational process much faster than a regular designer or a programmer. Hence, if you're not innovative, you're going to lose your job. And people will cry about it. But what does AI demonstrate? It demonstrates a challenge that's coming for you to be more innovative and be more creative. So after you've seen all the spaceship pictures and the conceptual designs of what you can do with that from a regular sketch, it's of great assistance. Also saves carbon footprint for whatever needs to be done to create that. So to shorten that, let's say Salvatore Dali and Picasso had a conversation about what an extraterrestrial in a spacesuit would have looked like in their perception, in their timeline, in a 3-dimensional space drawn by a graffiti artist with a Jackson Pollock appeal. Who of you programmers thinks like that? I do. And we're programmers nevertheless, whether you're on screen or off screen, what you're doing here, holographic, programming, modulating, manifesting reality, you are doing it until you're done. So imagine Painter 1, Painter 2 conversing. And I will show you an image where I will not reveal the painters and the conversations that I picked because that's my prompt and I like to play with it for a while. Painter 1, Painter 2, having a conversation and creating a painting in agreement in a 3-dimensional imaginary space. And then look at the outcome. Blew my mind what AI actually can do. Blew my lid off. Like really, I had to really sit down of the possibilities. So, we have artificial intelligence, but we also have cellular intelligence. And cellular intelligence suggests this, is that there was an experiment, and I don't know if it was Japan or China, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been documented. They looked at their traffic and system of how the roads were connected, and it could, I don't know if it was the traffic and the subterranean system, and they've rebuilt a replica of Tokyo. So the experiment consisted of building a replica of the Tokyo city and the subterranean connection and the tunnels. And they put a mushroom in there, like a mycelium network. And it was kind of like a labyrinth, and let the mushroom basically build you can say, mycelium neurological pathways to the stations. And it was way more effective than what their planning was. And then you could took a map of where the mushroom grew and build a system from that that's more effective. And I think that's where AI, leaning on cellular intelligence, can be of great assistance. So if you take the most effective car models, average space, Tesla, computer control, batteries, and put this in AI as an open source and let AI create a car, you will have an ideal car at probably $10,000 to $15,000 production cost, looking like freaking Lamborghini or Bugatti. Like, do that. take an image of a conceptual design of a car and say, I want Lamborghini and Bugatti mixed. Give me an idea. It'll blow your mind. I go further. I looked at Star Wars and I took a regular outfit of a stormtrooper and I said, I want the stormtrooper mixed with the StarCraft Protoss outfit of the beings in that computer. It's an old computer game. It's a classic. And blended, and it just would blow my mind. Take a regular knight's armor and mix it with Asgard, Marvel, Vision, Disney, manga, and create your sketches. And it'll assist you greatly, and it'll blow your mind of where you want to go. And I suggest use it, utilize it, create. But here's the thing. AI will never take you or take your spot or whatever. AI will make you more innovative and it'll challenge you more. But the ultimate technology is human. The human brain, the computational process of the divine power going through this cerebral cortex is unmatched and will be unmatched because the source code does not come from this vessel, it comes from out there. And that's where AI doesn't have the access. But AI can assist you in finding that magic by creating such and making it happen. And I'll show you images for my artwork when I mixed different sketches and images that I painted it first, sometimes in color, sometimes in black and white, because I want to see, what's the process of outlining the image or the color or the depth perception of it. And it's mind-blowing. And for that, we should utilize it. So if AI shows that your kid is 12 hours a day on social media, wasting your money, internet, and time, and not being productive, and 2% creative, well, AI isn't lying. And maybe that's what people don't want to hear. Then you see your statistic about what are you doing. So punch into the AI, this is my diet, this is what I'm doing, these are the symptoms that I'm having, and let AI evaluate a health plan, blood type, and boom, boom, boom. Well, it's going to be a competition to a doctor. By finding algorithms and solutions that a regular doctor won't know because he doesn't have the computational power, nor the correspondence or desire or interest to see that. And that's where metaphysics and technology meet. And I think that's where Atlantis was, that we had assisting spiritual technology that would lead us into leaping bounds into what's possible. My next test will be if Einstein, Oppenheimer, Tesla, and some other scientists that I found that are documented would have a conversation about a perpetuum mobile, seemingly self-perpetuating mechanism. What would AI suggest could this look like with what we know? You can tell AI, build me a combustion engine, and it can do that. You can tell AI, which is, it's spooky, but it's also interesting, write a code of an AI that can detect handwriting and give a psychological profile according to it. If it was done, AI can replicate itself. But the commander is always you. Never forget, you are in command. You tell it what to do. You are the director. You are the conductor. Ultimately, you are responsible at all times. And that always. So don't blame AI or whatever's out there. Funny story. And you can document this and test it yourself. It has to do with the wording. I asked the chatbot, what would this look like with how tribes lived in the past? How indigenous people, mind you, hundreds of millions over thousands of years were killed by invaders, immigrants and whatnot. We know the story. It's sad, it's bad, it's in the Americas, it's all over the planet. But I said, governmental structures, law enforcement, all of those things in place to protect the freedom of the people that you voted for, that you have elected, that you put in place. Where would that be in the future with where we're going? And the chatbot suggests that the White House will become a museum, and presidents and senators and governors a thing of the past. It suggests there will be community clans, community leaders in meeting of such, and things and agreements will be done different, and our value system will change drastically. Hence why cryptocurrency is emerging. Cryptocurrency is an energy of a value system that tries to birth itself into a different direction outside of the control. So your AI will become a whistleblower. Take any institution, put in the statistics that are known, whether they're corrupt or truth. By algorithm, the thing will tell you if this institution is essential or non-essential. It'll detect what's essential for living and life essential and will tell you. It'll blow your mind. I asked it about, I want to heal the barrier reefs that are biologically dead with photonic energy and technology, which I believe can heal the barrier reef. And a thing that I didn't think of, it suggested to me, it's like an advisor. And yes, I'm using it. Yes, I'm working with it. Do I depend on it? No. I'm the creator. I create. I'm in power. I command. I suggest. I have ideas. I'm innovative. I make happen. I am the action step. Without me, nothing. So I gave it an image that I created with watercolors underwater, reflective. And I said, Sanat Kumara, sun surface reflective DNA perspective in style of Mondrian. And you'll see the images. You'll see a DNA coil. You see kind of like a DNA program. You see kind of like the sun surface, and you see it reflected. It's mind-blowing. Like it brings to life visuals of things that I had in my mind that I couldn't paint because I didn't know how to paint them. Like I didn't know how to transfer an image out of the words that I projected. And now AI helps me to think different, to realize there's way more perspective and way more dimension to the words that I'm saying. And that will teach kids to create. There are free AIs out there like DALL-E. And I have read a book by Mary Rodwell, I think it's called The New Human, where she shows paintings of kids that show an abduction taking place, like a ship, a flying saucer coming in and taking mommy and daddy, or mommy and daddy on a spaceship. And I looked at those images, crayon by kids, showing the so-called abduction phenomenon, the experiences, which I love. I think it's where the nuts and bolts are. It's not the whistleblowers or those who come forth now say that they were fraudulent. Is that I told AI, draw me an image of a 5-year-old that describes an abduction scenario in his house or out in the field with the family. And the images that AI shows me are identical to the images that are in Mary Rodwell's book that kids have drawn. With crayons, they show a colorful disc in the sky, rays coming from it. They show mom and dad basically rising into the sky, holding hands. It's always the same. So to me, there's an experience taking place and the rest is cookie cutter. Anybody want to debate that? It's laughable for the evidence that the government has with crafts that submerge themselves into water, 90-degree angle curves going past Mach 7. You can have the fastest fighter jet and they go around it like you're a toy to them. So people need to open, and here comes like the next thing, open themselves more to metaphysics to understand actually what's going on and the divine rules, and not talk like from government perspectives and government officials being asked and treaties and papers. I mean, I appreciate the people that can show you, I don't know, from all the way back to Nixon, what has been presented, and all of those cases. Pardon me, I have to bring this in because this is for your awareness and for your expansion, and you should be interested in your expansion. But we must do something here. So I asked AI, I'm not doing anything new. I've been sketching out Tatooine. I would love to build a micro version of Tatooine, and I would call it Stasi Tatooine, and with bubble domes and different doors and solar panels. And yes, still city connected, internet connected, all of this. You don't have to really cut yourself out from the organism to heal it. Like, do it within the organism and the healing will take place. Once you have, and at some point we will be there, an established sustainable community, the government or whatever was the government, these institutions will come to you and say, we're having problems with our distribution, with our food and storage, blah, what do you suggest? I seem to see that your system works, and then you'll become the expert. So it's show and prove. So I'm just showing you an idea, giving you an incentive where you want to create, you want to begin creating, create images, create fantasies, create things that haven't been created before. That's what I'm doing. I'd say, the weirdest and craziest things in combination, I don't know, photograph a fly and let it look like Pokemon. But this is the creative aspect. You can also look at health and whatnot. So AI also suggests, that we have to change our energy distribution system, the way we produce, that we are overproduced, hypercapitalism, overmarket, and too many labels of anything. I don't care what is labeled. You confuse the issue. There are races in the jungle that have one label for one thing. No possession and no gender on that label. And they look at us like they say we're living in a demonic world, in a demon world, and a lot of demons suggesting things. So there can be demons in human form, meaning like spirits that need healing, people that are sick. Same thing. The level of sickness you see on the planet with atomic power. I asked AI the efficiency about atomic power and the nuclear waste and alternatives, and it suggests like if any alternative could be found, that should just eliminate the need of atomic power. Yeah, we have invented now atomic fusion, which doesn't have to be explosive anymore. I have to investigate further what that is. But the trajectory where the human race is going is the resistance will be less. More and more inventions will come to the surface that will blow your mind. There will be energy alternatives that will also blow your mind. And to share a story of the impossible possibilities, which I want you to leave your mind open to, is you have to understand, and the millennials and the younger ones, the 20-year-olds, you get it if I reach them. Here's the thing. When the Wright brothers suggested the idea of building a plane that's heavy in the air, that's motorized, that can fly, they were laughed at. And this is as a scientist, it's kind of like somewhat I see Graham Hancock, me in some department, I'm talking superluminous technology. The resistance that we're having has to do not with, I think, MIB or government or control. It has to do with an old crusted operating system, I don't know, Windows XP 87, that doesn't want to evolve. Like grandpa that sits in his basement and says color TV is the devil and stereo radio is also the devil. I have my mono radio with my tube, and I have no lights, I don't need no color, I have a crappy sound. That's it, I don't want more. Well, we cannot help those people, but evolution will take place. And AI is part of it. You can't take it away. And you can make it look at your own statistics. You look at your household, you can make it look at psychological relationships. And the advice is very rational. It's like very grounding and very like, okay, if you're doing this and this, this eventually can lead to this because you're piling up here and you're going, oh, I haven't looked at that. So AI is your digital mirror. The Mayan calendar, I went to a seminar where the guy in Germany very precisely showed that the Mayans predicted that we will develop an intelligence with a non-emotional body that will help us accelerate and reflect of who we are. Well, which is that? A computer. It is an intelligent body that has a computational process without being preconditioned or having an emotional body. It's electronic intelligence. And now it's in our world. Well, it helps a Boeing in flight assistance when you're in some trouble, uses algorithms to save the plane because maybe the pilot can't. So at some point we will govern, but no longer having to do the hard labor. Like in Star Wars, The Mandalorian, you see these robots building huts. These N-type robots, they're programmed to build huts. They get the program from the programmer, which is the one who governs that. And hard labor is no longer us. is machines. And I don't think the machines will revolt against us. If anything revolts against you, it's the human. And many, many great channelers said that, whether it's Bashar, Ramtha, I think Nityananda, if I'm not mistaken. When extraterrestrials talk with humans, they say, the major problem is not your reptilians, Anunnakis, and AI taking over. It's always you. The corruption that whoever, I don't know, person A, some government deal, or somebody in Hollywood movie production doing something to coerce somebody into something they don't want to do in order to get what they need. That's where corruption begins. And there's a price. We've left the age of belief. The age of Aquarius is the age of knowing. Meaning, now you know. What will your choice be? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be molasses, but it's not going to be headless chicken in molasses, not knowing where we're going. We're seeing it now. It's in our face. So if it's upsetting, it must go. I'm talking about now making things happen that have an application. Also for those starseeds that claim that, I don't know, solar warden, this, whatever you are. If you have all of this theoretical regurgitation of Gaia that you watch and no application in life, that you cannot even, let's say, a commander jacket and have that custom made or put something in form that you want to live, you have nothing. You want to play? You want to step on stage? Then get your outfits. Literally get your outfits. I dream of retreat centers with pyramids and energetic devices. Study the white pyramid, study the Nubian angle, study the new angle that was channeled through the collective of Ra, and how healing that is. In school we did experiments. Put an apple in a pyramid. It decays less fast than an apple in, I don't know, the living room. And we still don't know why, and we don't have to know why. Here's the thing: is nature doesn't need you to. It doesn't require you to find out why. I had a talk with Patrick Flanagan when he was alive. Brilliant, inventive mind. Science is nearly there to document what it assumes this might do, but we don't know. You know, we can explain why a knife can cut a fruit, but we can't put the fruit back together. We cannot explain why there's a thing linear forward perception in time, and there's time backwards. And people have experienced missing time or time backwards, where they came where they went before. One case of a friend of mine said she was 15 minutes late to work, and she was worried. She imagined herself very hard being at work and being on time. Comes 15 minutes late, puts up her jacket. Nobody says anything. She sits down, and her boss comes in, just smiles. Yeah, good morning. She's like, sorry, I'm late. And the boss is like, what are you talking about? And I find these experiences very peculiar. It's like, open your mind, people. Really, don't debate with yourself and limit yourself. You all can fly. You're all birds. You're all galactic beings from another system, incarnating here, learning in this school. You're gods in training. Well, the girl says, what are you talking about? You're late. You came in 15 minutes ago. And she was stumped. Like her boss was like, no, you opened the door, you sat down, you put your jacket up, you sat down. I said good morning again, and I went back into my office, and I was like 15, 20 minutes to come back out, and we were talking again. And you're here and still here, in my perception. So I want to believe, my crazy mind, that this girl projected herself so hard to being on time at the job that this is what her boss received, because she was concerned about her boss not seeing her at her desk on time. But her focus wasn't that. Her focus was like, I'm on time at the desk and everything will be fine. And with that, got on the train, walked out the station, and that's what her boss received. So can you imagine what the mind can do? Influencing perception. And I'm not even talking about the power of observation. Like the universe will be there because you observe it. The universe is mental. As in the universe is quite insane, you know what I mean? The universe is taking liberties, thinking it has a right to exist with all that happens, and I'm in the pit of it all, and I've no control, so it seems. Control is an illusion. You have the opportunity and the allowance to dance with what is given. Work with that. So this was the AI fragment. Holy shit. Pardon my French. Mon Dieu. NFTs and cryptocurrency. I make this quick. More power to the artist. I hear now that in the future, rappers will sell their tickets through NFT. Meaning whoever organizes the stuff will not be in control of the ticket sales. The royalties will go to the artist, and the artist will say who gets paid what and where things go. So more control and more power to you, artists. Every painting, everything that you have, documented, downloaded. Don't give it for free. You don't have to give anybody no exclusive deals anymore because you're desperate to need this big advance that they want to steal from you anyway. That's how it was in the past. Now the responsibility and the ball is in your court and you own. So make an NFT album and own it. And every time it gets resold or whatever, you get a percentage. Rappers have your own merchandise. Don't find a company that will offer some, let's make this perfume for you, and you get 10% and we take the rest. You take control, make your essential oil, make people conscious with your art. Get out of primitive zones, get into intelligent zones. The responsibility is with you. We are in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowing. I know. Now you know. You can't unknow what I've told you. You can't unexperience what I've given you. You have to move forward. Make your choice. And everything that can't keep up with you shining bright and bringing forth intelligence and recognizing patterns. Oh, I did this before. Okay, it seems I'm looping here. Okay, let's change the program. And what happens when you change the program? Things will change. You can't change people, but you can change yourself. So NFTs and cryptocurrencies for artists that need blockchains that are linked with numbers and protected by code, by the originator, by source code, this is your time. Get into OpenSea, upload. I mean, when I was 16, I wish I had all of the stuff that I doodled now. Take all my images, art shows, paintings, frames, upload everything and store it. The consciousness needs you. Evolution needs you. No governing mental structures are needed. No law that is enforced by military is needed. A lore of how life should be lived is to be experienced and realized, thus bringing forth peace, health, and wealth. That's why NFT and crypto and the digital age is coming, because our consciousness is freeing itself from the shackles of the controllers. And that's what's taking place, and you're witnessing that. And right now, it's an infant stage. It's learning, so watch what you feed it. Watch how you treat it. It's like a plant. So watch how you nurture it. Nature it. Meta nature. Metu nature. You are ultimately responsible all the times. Only you. For contact, disclosure, and don't wait for somebody to announce there's going to be, since I'm building that, a rollout of med beds. I've been hearing this the last 30 years. There's no rollout. Those who will build those healing facilities will be there. I'm one of them. I work on being at the Conscious Life Expo with a medbed in physical form for you to experience. No more talk, no more dream or conspiratory ifs. And I'm open to a lot of things. But if you don't have a Tesla motor that you can put on the table this size, and I don't care who follows or tracks or whatever you have, if you don't have a system that you can record with your camera, like a live recording, and it's running, I don't believe you have it. So the challenge is make it happen. If you have something that works, then turn it on, make it work. Put it out in the field. I know people with property. Well, then buy something, turn it on, make it work. Set it up. Let this be the incentive. You know, you are the commander. That's why I call myself Commander Arcturus Ra. Are you in command of your life? I control what I create, and I make it so, and I bring it into form and represent that. That is what this is about. So much for NFTs and cryptocurrency. Whatever happens, happens. What can't be avoided will be. What do you do with that? It's up to you, and time will tell. as in perception of that, as time is an illusion. There are cycles of things for you to be perceived in order to process. We call it time or many other things. It's not linear, it's actually a spiral. We know that now. So 23 and leading to 24, business is going to be crazy. People want to get smarter, work smarter, not harder. The more you learn, the more you earn. But also understand it's not about having $200 million and a Lamborghini anymore. Maybe you make $100,000 a year and you're happy. Where's your happiness? What makes you happy? This video makes me happy and being able to share this. So for the star seeds and the new ones that are coming, also in the final round, as the star seeds topic, it's nice if you can project yourself astrally to military bases and can see what they're doing. If you have power, such as flying, but you cannot bring anything back from the landscape that you're observing, you have nothing. So power without any application means nothing. I can talk about Kung Fu all day, but if I have no application where I can get in gear and actually do something with it, I have nothing. I have theory. You can see that also. Side note, I saw that on TikTok where this Kung Fu master that was respected and, worshipped and all this egoic stuff by students, and everybody danced with him and said that he's kind of impervious. And there was a dude who was like an MMA fighter, and he went to the dude and knocked him out. Just went in there, all the illusion gone. There are realities that you have to accept and learn, and then you become a master. Not dream about false worship and idealism that doesn't get you anything, doesn't go anywhere. And flattery is nice, but what are you emoting? What are you sensing is being projected towards you from that person? That's what's happening right now. And in terms of love, everything opens up. Every relationship with everything and whatever you're relating to on this planet, all of this opens up. What are you doing with it? And don't label it. Allow yourself to feel. Science shows that on all levels, the freedom of self-expression in love, sensuality, intimacy, in art is compatible with the human race. The suppression is incompatible. That's all I need to say to that. So people are now revealing themselves. You see people that have been fraud, that went nowhere with their tricks. I'm not naming names. Watch Gaia, watch ex-Gaians, and now people trip after they get egoic after having a show and producing not even a coffee mug or a cooking plate with a logo or something. So I say create, make it happen. We don't have to chase what you think seems bigger. You're big enough. Your time, create a channel, create a blog, share your insights. And the more you do that, the more AI can also see actually you as an us. And then we can reflect, oh, okay, look at this here. Like you can, I don't know, punch in a suggestion, ask your AI, yeah, I got this cargo shipment dock and I'm losing containers every month. I'm trying to track down what's happening. And all of a sudden you see statistics where you're losing, where people are sloppy and you overpaying and you're being used. So very, very revealing times are coming. Yeah, they're going to be disruptive. Yeah, they're going to shock you. But they're going to wake you up into the purposeful being, the you. And that's why you're here. So the prognosis for 23 and 24 is way more AI. Your phone is AI, your internet, the statistics. I mean, without AI, you can't even have a hospital functioning, but it's saving lives now. I punch in the statistics with what went on with COVID and see how AI is actually very revealing how nonsensical and corrupt this all was, what we've experienced. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying pro or con or do or don't. Just punch in the statistics with what you have found, what you have heard, what has been revealed, what the government released, and where we're going, and how many are alive and how many left. In 500 words, and you'll be very, very astonished of what's actually going on. So don't believe the hype. believe in you, believe in the truth, follow that path, create art, live life to more potential, more than you thought possible, and you'll see horizons you've never believed that you can ever witness. This is your time, more than ever. I'm Commander Arcturus Ra, signing off, wishing you a powerful year and years to come. And I love you more than you can imagine. That's why I came.